Anger, Wisdom for Cooling the Flames by Thich Nhat Hanh is a profound exploration of how to deal with anger and transform it into a source of peace and understanding. The book draws on Buddhist teachings and mindfulness practices to offer tools for managing anger in a constructive way. Thich Nhat Hanh emphasizes that anger is a natural human emotion, but when it is left unchecked, it can harm both ourselves and others. His teachings focus on how to handle anger mindfully, without suppressing or acting impulsively, leading to greater peace in both our inner and outer worlds. The book begins with the idea that anger, while a natural emotion, can become destructive when it is not understood or managed properly. Thich Nhat Hanh argues that anger arises from deep suffering and often from feeling misunderstood or hurt. Rather than viewing anger as something to avoid or suppress, he teaches that it is important to acknowledge it and approach it with compassion. By understanding the roots of anger, we can transform it into something positive. Thich Nhat Hanh suggests that the first step in transforming anger is to practice mindfulness. He explains that mindfulness is the ability to be present in the moment, fully aware of what is happening both inside and around us. When we are mindful of our anger, we can observe it without judgment or reaction. This awareness helps us separate ourselves from the emotion, allowing us to process it more healthily. The practice of mindful breathing is one of the key tools Thich Nhat Hanh offers to deal with anger. By focusing on our breath, we can calm the mind and create space between the feeling of anger and our response to it. This pause allows us to make a more thoughtful decision about how to express or address our anger, rather than reacting impulsively or violently. Thich Nhat Hanh also emphasizes the importance of deep listening in the process of transforming anger. He argues that anger often arises from misunderstandings or a lack of communication. By listening deeply to ourselves and others, we can begin to understand the true causes of our anger. When we truly listen to someone else, we can begin to see the situation from their perspective, which can diffuse our own anger and foster understanding. The book discusses the role of compassion in managing anger. Thich Nhat Hanh suggests that when we experience anger, we are often caught in a story of hurt and blame. By cultivating compassion, we can step outside of our story and see the situation more objectively. Compassion helps us to see the humanity in others and understand that their actions may be motivated by their own suffering. Another central theme in the book is the idea of transforming our anger through the practice of love and forgiveness. Thich Nhat Hanh encourages readers to let go of grudges and resentments, which only fuel anger and suffering. Forgiveness, he explains, is not about excusing harmful behavior but about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden that anger brings. Forgiving others and ourselves creates space for healing and growth. Thich Nhat Hanh also teaches that we must take responsibility for our anger. It is easy to blame others for how we feel, but he reminds us that we are the ones who choose how to respond to situations. By taking ownership of our emotions, we empower ourselves to make choices that lead to peace and understanding. This shift in perspective can help prevent us from falling into the trap of blaming others for our pain. The book provides practical exercises for working with anger, such as the Rainbow of Anger exercise. In this exercise, readers are encouraged to visualize their anger as a color, then gradually transform that color into a soothing hue. This exercise helps to externalize the emotion, making it easier to distance oneself from the intensity of anger and view it more objectively. Thich Nhat Hanh also discusses the power of silence in managing anger. He advises that sometimes, when anger arises, it is best to remain silent and not engage in communication until we have calmed down. Silence allows the mind to settle, and when we return to the conversation, we can do so with a clearer, more peaceful state of mind. The book also highlights the importance of self-awareness in managing anger. Thich Nhat Hanh teaches that by regularly checking in with ourselves and becoming aware of the physical sensations and thought patterns that accompany anger, we can catch the emotion early before it spirals out of control. This self-awareness is a key aspect of mindfulness and helps us to cultivate greater emotional resilience. Thich Nhat Hanh also explains how anger can be passed down through generations, creating cycles of suffering. He suggests that by practicing mindfulness and compassion, we can break these cycles and prevent anger from being perpetuated. When we heal our own anger, we create a ripple effect that can positively influence those around us, including future generations. The book emphasizes that anger is not inherently bad, it is how we respond to it that determines its impact. Anger, when managed mindfully, can be a powerful force for change. Thich Nhat Hanh explains that anger can be a call for justice, for something in our lives or in the world to be corrected. By processing our anger mindfully, we can channel it into constructive action, promoting peace and justice without violence or harm. Towards the end of the book, Thich Nhat Hanh offers reflections on how to build a peaceful society by cultivating personal peace. He argues that the transformation of anger in individuals is essential for creating a harmonious world. When each of us learns to manage our anger with mindfulness, compassion, and love, we contribute to a global movement towards peace and understanding. The book concludes with a message of hope, that through mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness, we can all learn to transform anger into wisdom. Thich Nhat Hanh encourages readers to continue their practice, to embrace their emotions with kindness, and to share this wisdom with others. In doing so, we not only heal ourselves but also contribute to the healing of the world.